Watch a husband and wife. You will always see two persons frozen, sitting side by side, not knowing what they are doing here, why they are sitting. Maybe they have nowhere to go. When you see love between two persons, something is flowing, moving, changing. When there is love between two persons, they live in an aura. There is a constant sharing. Their vibrations are reaching to each other. They are broadcasting their being to each other. There is no wall between them. They are two and yet not two. They are one also. The husband and wife are as far away as it is possible to be. They may be sitting by the side to each other. The husband never listens what the wife is saying. He has become deaf long ago. The wife never sees what is happening to the husband. She has become blind to him. They take each other absolutely granted. They have become things. They are no more persons. Persons are always open. And persons are always uncertain. And persons are always changing. Now they have a fixed role to fulfill. They died the day they got married. Since that day they have not lived. I am not saying don't get married. But remember it. That love is the real thing. And if it dies, then marriage is worthless. And the same is true about everything in life. About everything. Either you can live it, but then you have to live with this hesitation, not knowing what is going to happen the next moment, or you can make everything certain about it. There are people who have become so certain about everything, they are never surprised. There are people you cannot surprise them. And I am here to deliver you a message which is very surprising. You will not believe it, I know. You cannot believe it, I know. I am here to tell you something which is absolutely unbelievable, that you are gods and goddesses. You have forgotten it. Let me tell you one anecdote. Harvey Firestone, Thomas A. Edison, John Burroughs, and Henry Ford stopped at a rural service station on their way to Florida for the winter. We want some bulbs for our headlights, said Ford. And by the way, that is Thomas Edison sitting there in the car, and I am Henry Ford. The fellow at the service station did not even look up, just spat out some tobacco juice with obvious contempt and said, Ford, we would like to buy a new tire if you have any Firestone tires. And that other fellow in the car is Harvey Firestone himself. Still the old fellow said nothing. While he was placing the tire on the wheel, John Burroughs, with his long white beard, stuck his head out the window and said, How do you do, stranger? Finally, the old man at the service station came alive. He glared at Burroughs and said, If you tell me you are Santa Claus, I will be damned if I don't crush your skull with this lug wrench. He could not believe that in one car, Harvey Firestone, Thomas A. Edison, John Burroughs, and Henry Ford all are traveling. They were all friends. They used to travel together. When I say to you, you are gods and goddesses, you will not believe me, because you have completely forgotten. Who is traveling within you? Who is sitting within you? Who is listening to me? Who is looking at me? You have completely forgotten. You have been given some labels from the outside and you have trusted those labels. Your name, your religion, your country, all bogus. Because it does not make any sense whether you are a Hindu or a Christian or a Mohammedan. If you don't know yourself, these labels make no sense at all. Maybe they are of a certain utility. What sense does it make whether you are a Hindu or a Christian or a Mohammedan or an Indian, an American, Chinese? How it makes sense, how it helps you to know your being, all irrelevant. Because the being is neither Indian, nor Chinese, nor American. And the being is neither Hindu, nor Mohammedan, nor Christian. The being is simply a pure isness. The pure isness is what I call God. If you can understand your inner divinity, you have understood what life is. Otherwise, you have not been able yet to decode life. This is the message. The whole life is pointing at one thing continuously, that you are God's. Once you have understood it, then there is no death. Then you have learned the lesson. Then in death, gods will be returning back to their homes. When Rabbi Burnam lay dying, his wife burst into tears. He said, "What are you crying for? My whole life was only that I might learn how to die." The whole life, just a training, how to go back home, how to die, how to disappear. Because the moment you disappear, God appears in you. Your presence is God's absence. Your absence is God's presence. Enough for today.